I think it affects everyone. I think hand percussion, it's always a challenge. It's like we have a friend that was on We Like It Here. His name's Steven Brzett, great percussionist, younger guy from Holland, and he calls it training. You know, like it's a sport, and it's so true. Drums as well. I mean, not just hand percussion. We're using so many movements and muscles, and you know, you practice relaxing, but at the same time, you play every single night, and most of the time we get featured every night as well.
At least a few times in the night. Yeah.
Yeah, and you definitely get tired, and the thing about it is the no sleep, and so like this week we just did early plane flights, connections, layovers, and so you get maybe 3-4 hours of sleep each night, and then your body doesn't have a chance to repair itself, and so you kind of just learn to pull energy from different places, and when the first chance you have to rest, you take it, and you just sleep as much as you can. And for me, drinking lots of water, just like chugging water, helps my muscles with the inflammation. But it's definitely over the years I've learned like what to do. Like I'll EQ my wedge just right, and so that I don't have to, like, I hear all the subtleties and I don't have to overplay. That's huge for hand percussion. And then also, like, I don't have to play congas in a certain section of the music every time. It's fun each night to switch it up, and maybe I'll play some tambourines and shakers and cowbells, and then, you know, Larnell obviously will respond to that, or he does something completely different. I'm like, well, I'm not really feeling hand percussion, and so you choose your battles, I feel like.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely, I've had to find other ways to go about, you know, like hitting the drums, you know, in the sense of just making slight changes to the technique so that I can play for hours and hours, you know. In a day like today, we're doing 2 90-minute shows, you know, and I can't shortchange the first show necessarily just to be okay for the second, and I can't overspend on that first show. So, you know, you make different musical choices, like Nate's saying, to accommodate the technique, or to make sure that you at least have something left over, if not to get to the second show in that night, then to get through the end of the night. But, you know, definitely lack of sleep hurts. You know, you want to rest up and rest horizontally, like you don't always want to be sleeping in a plane like this, because that affects you. Like, you're there sitting for a while. I mean, what we normally do is just we're stretching, you know, before, after, like a lot of hot water. You know, I actually used to have tendonitis, so because of that, I actually found ways to still put a lot of energy and sound, like, into the drums without completely damaging myself. You know, so this tour for sure I've seen positive effects from some of those changes I've made.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I also remember a few years back I had a really bad habit. I wasn't breathing. Like, I would kind of stop breathing a little bit when there was something difficult coming up, or I was soloing, and I would forget to breathe. And so the past few years I always tell myself, like, especially if I'm doing something that's a little more challenging, just like deep breaths so that the muscles are still getting the oxygen they need, and then I feel like I can go longer and longer and longer the more that I do that. You know, because when you stop breathing, you're just cutting off the life, you know, to your muscles.
Suffocating your muscles, basically.